Hello everyone and welcome to another edition of the SAP Business One Web client. My name is Matthew and on today's edition we are going to be working on the sales process. Without further ado, let's get started. Alright, so let's take our time to log into the system and begin the process in proper. Okay, so I'm going to sign in with my super user account quickly. Okay, so I'm logging in. All right, so for us to start the sales process, we need to navigate to the modules tab. Then from the modules tab, you can scroll to the sales, or we use the module tabs to, you know, have access to all the sales cards. All right, so for uh, every sales process begins with either a quotation, a contract, or an order. So we are going to start the sales process from the sales quotation. Then I'll show you how you can copy from the sales, convert a sales quotation to a sales order. Then from the sales order, we can receive the sales delivery, then convert the delivery to an invoice, and we can then, apply payments on the invoice. So let's begin the sales process. So this is the simplest way of, um, starting a sales process to how and when you finish the sales process. So, so to begin with, let's select the sales quotation card. Now, on the sales quotation tab, we have some existing sales quotation document that we have here. Now, at the top of the sales quotation tab, we have some filter. You can search for a particular sales quotation here. You can search by document number. Let's say, for example, I want to search for 120. I'll click on go, and you see this is an existing sales quotation. And you can also search by customer code, or you can drill down to select some customer. I can click OK, and you see the list of sales quotation that has been raised for that particular customer. All right. What we're going to do now is to create a new sales quotation. So to begin with, creating a new sales quotation, when we click on the create button, it redirects us to the page where we start entering the content, the information. So here, first thing you need to do is to select the customer. So I'm going to pick this customer. And you can see when you pick the customer code, the name is filled automatically. Now here we can assign the dates of the quotation, then the validity period of this sales quotation as described by the supplier or the vendor. And if there is a sales employee that is assigned, you can assign a sales employee to the sales quotation. So this person is going to be assigned, is going to be responsible for this sales, and any commission that is coming derived from this sales quotation is going to be assigned to the person. Then we also have a document owner. The document owner can also be anybody from the department. So I'm just going to select this person. And now, because of the fact that SAP Business One is a multi-currency ERP solution. So you can define the mode of currency if it's a system currency or a local currency or a business partner currency. So the difference between these two is the local currency is actually your localization currency. It can be the current country currency that you are using, while the system currency is the ERP currency that the system can use to track. It can also be uh, any currency that you assign. Then the BP currency is the business partner currency, which in this case can be the customer currency. So let's say you have a foreign customer that you receive foreign currency from. You can assign any currency to them. So that's an example of it. Then the quotation type. So we have the item quotation type or a service quotation type. So if you want to maybe sell a service to the customer, you can change this to a service. But in this case, we are selling an item, so I'm just going to leave it there. Now, very important is the items. We need to select the items we are selling now. So I'm going to select these two items, or the three items, and select them. So automatically the three items will be selected. So here we have all the three items assigned, including the prices, because we already have a price list configuration that is set up in the system. Now all you need to do here is to change the quantity for each of these, for the items you want to see. You can change the currency here. You can also navigate to see other information, and some fields can be activated from here. So if you want to activate some fields, let's say, for example, you want to know the percentage commission that is going to be granted to uh, the sales uh, the sales employee, or you want to assign the delivery date or a particular department, or you want to see the gross total or the amount in stock for each of these items, you can do that. So if I click on OK, you see that these fields are actually assigned. So you can see the commissions that is going to be generated for that customer. And this is the quantity that we have in total for the list of all these items that we have here. Then also very important is the freight charges. So if there's a reason for you to charge the customer for freight deliveries, you can do that here. Now other informations are the total summary. You can see the total summary of the transaction. Then you can add an opening and closing remarks. You can define the logistics details of how you want to deliver this item. So I can say define name and enter the delivery information. And I can also, define, the ship to address or the bill to address. So let's assume the customer have a bill to or ship to address. Automatically the ship to and bill to address will be assigned here. Then you can also define the shipping preference, which is the shipping type. You can see I have some shipping information. If I'm going to use a UPS ground, the channel, the business partner channel name, I can select that as well. Then under the accounting tab, we have some accounting information like the payment terms, the payment preference, uh, the GL, the appropriate GL, and so on. Then very important uh, is attachment. So let's say you have a physical or electronic document attachment for the sales quotation. You can do that by adding uh, those information here. So I can easily pick any document here and assign it to them. All right, so that is that for that. Uh, so after we've done everything that is necessary, we filled in all the necessary information, all we just need to do is to click on add and view. And you can see the quotation is now added. So we have all the information added here. So if I go back to the sales quotation list and I close this, I click on go, you can see this is now the new sales quotation that I just created. So I can go into details to further convert the sales quotation to sales order. So to do that, convert the sales quotation to a sales order, all I need to do is to copy to sales order. But before we do that, let's assume we want to print. Let me show you how the printout is going to look like. So if we want to print this sales quotation, all I need to do is to click on this share icon. And when I click on the share icon, I can click on preview. And the system is going to generate that preview for me. Let's just hold on for some seconds to generate that. All right, so this is the template sample. You can see these are the items we posted already. And all these are very possible. And mind you, this template can be customized um, to suit your need. So there is also a tool that we use to customize document templates. This tool is called SAP Crystal Reports. All right, so I'm going to switch back to the sales quotation. And now let's convert the sales quotation to a sales order. So all we need to do is to just click on the copy to button and copy to sales order. And all the informations are going to be copied. The only difference is you just need to define the delivery date for the item for the sales order. So if I select this, and it's going to be copied. Every other information, you can make adjustment to the sales order document here. You can also change the warehouse location to show where the item is going to be picked from, and so on. All right, so if there is a need for you to make adjustments on the sales order, all you need to do is to make the changes, and the system is going to take the effect. So let's say, for example, we want to reduce the price for the sales order for the customer. Let's assume this is going to be 180, or preferably we want to add a discount. We want to give the customer a discount. We can say 5% discount for that item, and the system automatically calculates the total discount amount. And you can see the discount will be calculated. I can also make changes. Let's say we want to give 2% discount for this item, 2% discount, and the system will automatically calculate the discount. All right, so after that, we can then decide to add or we can attach or make any other changes that is necessary to the sales quotation, and the system is going to accept that. All right, you can see I didn't mention the series. You can select a series or make a manual series. You can enter a manual series for the item. So the series is going to be the sales order ID. All right. So without making any other changes, all I need to do is to click on Add and View, and the sales order document is now added. You can also preview. You can send to an email. You can choose an email option, or you can choose a layout to preview the sales order document. Now, another beautiful aspect of the B1 application that I want to show you is the relationship map. So you can see the status of the relationship map. So here you can see the flow of all the transactions that is going on in the system. So we have a sales quotation that is now being converted to a sales order, and the status of the order is still open because we've not actually converted the order to a delivery. All right. So now the next stage is to copy the order item to a delivery. Now, in our previous session, I talked about credit limit utilization and what it means for customers who you set credit limit for. The system is going to alert you about the credit limit utilization. So this is the utilization status. It shows that yes, this customer's credit limit is overdue. The customer has exceeded their credit limit. All right, so let's copy this to a delivery. So this is the delivery document. So the system has converted the sales order to a delivery document, and these are all the information that are copied to the delivery as well. So you can see all this information being assigned and be copied equally, and the system has a way of tracking all this information accordingly. So the warehouse that these items are going to be picked from is this. So for example, let's take for example one of these items. So we are the first item. So we are delivering 2 quantities, and from the 2 quantities, we are picking the quantity from the general warehouse. So this is the general warehouse that we are picking it from. So let's see what we have for this item in the general warehouse location. So if I click on this arrow button, it will give me an holistic view of what details about the item. So I can click on view more to see more information of that item. All right, it's loading. Okay, so this is a full information of an item. So this is what we have in store. This is the what we have in stock for the total of all the item stock we have. This is what has been committed. This is what has been ordered. So we have zero order quantity, and this is what is available. So there is a formula to how you calculate an available quantity in SAP Business One. So the formula is in stock plus ordered minus committed will give you the available quantity. So what we just need to do is to navigate to the inventory tab, and in the inventory tab you see the breakdown of the stock balances you have in the system. So in the general warehouse we have 396 and 4 is committed. So which means part of the 4 we have 2 that is already committed for sales. So in the backup warehouse we have just 33, and if you sum this together it should give you what you have in stock now. So let's move back to the delivery document. So in the delivery document, if you scroll to the right, we have all this information that is applied. All right, so here I'm just going to save and view, and the system is prompting me that you cannot make changes. So I just have to continue. All right, the order is created, and I mean the delivery is created, so it shows that yes, the order is now satisfied. All right, so if you go back to the inventory tab and let's refresh this page. So notice what we have here. We have 396 and 4 committed. So if I refresh now and I navigate to the inventory tab, now you see that we have 94 of what we have in stock, and 2 is now committed for 2 is now what is committed for sales, or uh, maybe an order. All right. So that is that for the delivery. So the item has been shipped or delivered to the customer. Now the next stage is to invoice the item. So before we do the invoicing, you can also, if from the delivery, you can see there is a picking slip. This is meant for the warehouse operations. They can to use the picking list to pick an item from the warehouse location, and the system is going to help them track all this information. So if I preview this, there is a way view document that is going to be shown. So this is what they actually need to give to the gate, or uh, uh, for the security operatives to allow them like a pass, like a document pass. So this is where the document is going to, and I mean the items are going to be built to, and so on and so forth. So this is just like a picking list report to show what has been picked from the warehouse, and so on and so forth. All right, so that is that. If I close this, I just want to quickly show you the relationship map status now. So you can see the sales order document is now closed and the delivery status is now open. The reason why the delivery status is open is because this order has not been converted to uh, an invoice. So that's the next stage, what we need to do now next. All right, so I'm going to close this, and I'm going to copy to an invoice. So you can see now that I converted to an invoice. The system is prompting me that the customer has exceeded the credit limit, and is asking me for confirmation if I need to continue with it based on the credit limit utilization that we have. So if I click on yes, here you can see that it's now converted to an invoice. So the invoice document is generated now, and I can preview the journal entry. Okay, so I just need to edit the dates of the document. So I'm just going to pick today's date. Okay, so change the date to today's date, and if I now go to the journal entry preview, I should now be able to preview the document. So here, for the finance guys, this is the journal entry. This is the in and out of the transaction. So here you can see the customer account is debited, then the VAT payable is credited, and the miscellaneous revenue is actually credited. So here, this is what the system is going to generate. So if there's a payment that is applied on this invoice, uh, so the customer account is now going to be credited, and VAT and miscellaneous revenue is going to be debited. All right, let's take a look at the content, which is other information that is applied. So I'm going to close this, and these are other information about the invoice, which is the item details, the total amount, if there's a freight that is assigned, you have all this information there, the tax and the total, everything has been applied. So if there's a ship to and bill to address, you have all those information that apply. So I'm going to now add this, add and view, and I still get the confirmation message of the credit limit. So if I click on yes, you cannot change this document, and so I'm going to click yes, and you can see the document is now created. Now let's take a look at the relationship map now. So here, if I expand this, you can see the flow, the sales process flow, from the sales quotation to sales order to delivery and to an invoice. And you can see that the status of the invoice is open. So here I'm just going to close, and the system, I can also see some other activities from the action invoice. So you can uh, now decide to make payment on this invoice. You can cancel the invoice. You can copy key to a credit memo if there's a reason for you to do some returns uh, on the invoice, or some correction on the invoice. You can do that. You can also, make some credit memo without quantity, and the system is not going to affect the quantity. So these are ways uh, to correct invoicing process in SAP Business One Web Client. This is just to show you the flow of how transactions are being conducted. I mean, the sales process transaction is being conducted in SAP Business One. So here, let's finally complete this transaction by making the payment. So I'm going to click on the payment button, and automatically the system redirected me to the incoming payment module. So this is the incoming payment. All informations have been copied. Uh, so this they are older invoice. They are previous invoice that have been generated, but because of the fact that I'm making payment on that specific invoice, so the system has already picked the invoice I'm making payment on. So I can make adjustment to the payments that I want to make. You can see, or you can just make payment on account if there is a need. So in the banking and finance aspect of this training, this SAP Business One Web Client training, we're going to discuss more on the incoming payment aspect. So these are other information that can be applied. Like if you want to make payment, you can set the payment means. Here, I'm just going to set the bank means, which is we are just making use of the bank transfer. So I'm going to select bank account. I'm going to add the button. So this account, oh sorry, this is the check payment. So here I'm just going to pick the bank account that I want to pay to. We're going to remove this. So we're just going to delete this. Here we're going to pick the bank GL, general ledger, that we are paying into, and it's applied. So the transfer date, just need to pick today's date as the transfer date. Then the total transfer, can set the total transfer, the system, or what you just need to do is to set the total transfer of the amount. So you can put a reference on it, on the document. I can just say being payment for sales transaction. Okay, there's a limit, right? Okay, there's a limit here, and what we just need to do is go back to the transfer and say Control B. When you type Control B, and the system is automatically going to copy the uh, total amount here and paste it for you. All right, so if everything we have here is correct, and there are no changes that needs to be made, we can then go ahead and set the other information that is necessary. All right, so let's see the journal entry preview. So this is the journal entry preview. You can see the bank is debited and the customer account is now credited with this amount. So here is how the financial result is going to be treated. All right, so I'm going to close this, and uh, now we can then apply the payment. Just click on add and view, and the system is going to prompt you that you cannot change. And if I click yes, so the transaction is now successful. So from the incoming payments, I can also view the relationship map to see the status of the relationship map. So here you can see the invoice is now closed. So if I close this and we go back to the invoice, which is the AR invoice, you can see, and I go to the relationship map, here you can now see that the invoice is closed and the account transaction is now completed. So this is the one of the easiest way for you to perform a sales process in SAP Business One Web Client. Uh, if you have any question, or you want us to carry out some other transactions within the sales process, like the sales order, you can just hit the button or make a comment in the comment section. Uh, I'll prepare the video and maybe share with you guys. If you like this video, please do well to like, subscribe, and to our YouTube channel. You can follow us on our social media. All the social media links are down there below in the comment section. Uh, if you need help or you need assistance with SAP Business One, either web client or the desktop client, or you need uh, some explanation, feel free to maybe contact me, or my link or my social media link is going to be at the comment section, and going to be in the comment section rather. Let's have some communication. If you think there are better ways we can, you know, we can handle the SAP Business One Web Client sales process. It's a free world. Let's have a way to, communicate. Let's have a way to, share knowledge and resources. All right. That will be all for this episode. Thank you for watching. My name is Martin once again. Do enjoy your day. Bye for now.